scans, yeah, we can get it. But has there been any change in your condition since the post-operative imaging?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well then we can obtain that imaging and provide it.
Yep.
But the whole human traffic thing and organ harvesting thing and that those allegations, they are not going to hold up in court. They're not. Your case is a civil negligence case. We are civil personal injury lawyers, right? What you're describing are heinous criminal acts which you're not going to be able to prove, right?
If
you
will.
want to prove it, you need to take it to the police.
Yep.
They're probably not going to take it on. And that has nothing to do with your compensation either. Again, the damages are the damages. The damages don't change. So, look, I accept that you've got strong feelings about what's happened and you have your own opinion about cover-up and organ harvesting. I'm not sure what organ they've harvested. Which organ are you saying they harvested?
The patella tendon, superior...
For what reason?
For someone else's ACL surgery, the patella tendon was harvested. The superior extensor...
Do you have any evidence of that?
Yes, all these photographs definitely have evidence.
You've got photographs of yourself. Do you have evidence of another person taking your tendon?
Yep, I do. I have a missing tendon.
I'm not talking about missing tendon because sometimes you have surgery, parts of you have to be cut out. Do you have evidence that it was used for trafficking, for harvesting purposes?
Well, it's a heinous crime, and of course they're going to cover that up.
Okay, so you don't have any evidence about someone else utilising your tendon?
They've definitely cut them out. Definitely.
Okay. See, Ryan, again, you've been harmed, you've been mistreated, you've been a subject of negligence, you're a victim in that sense for sure, right? These other allegations that you're making, I'm not going to be able to represent you on those allegations. Those are criminal allegations with no evidence.
I definitely have evidence. I have a lot of evidence.
You don't have evidence of someone else using or receiving your organs, do you know what I mean? You don't have evidence of that.
I have evidence of someone taking them out of my body.
Okay, so we've sent your imaging to an experienced orthopedic surgeon. You will know what's being taken out. And if he thinks that what's being taken out makes no sense when it comes to the types of surgery that was supposed to be performed, well then you'll let us know. But to date, he's seen the post-operative imaging and he has not indicated that at all.
He hasn't seen the correct imaging. The doctors...
So are you saying that the radiology clinics are also in on this?
Definitely. 100%.
Okay, Ryan, I'm going to tell you this now. This isn't going to hold up. It's not going to hold up in court. It's a conspiracy theory.
It's not a conspiracy theory, it's a conspiracy fact. It's definitely a conspiracy fact.
Alright, well, you need to remember the capacity in which you engage us. We're personal injury lawyers, we're not criminal lawyers.
Yep.
Right? Feel free to contact the criminal lawyer and explain the cover-up to them. I'm telling you now, you're going to get turned away by every law firm. Right? Because the claims you're making are going to be impossible to prove. You can bring it to the police, and maybe they investigate it for you. Have you brought it to the police before?
I've sent to the terrorist hotline and human organ trafficking place.
And they haven't done anything, have they?
Well, I don't know, why not? You can visibly see chunks cut out of me and you can see my veins are rearranged.
But it makes my point pretty clear. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're not going to be able to prove it. You've already taken some steps and it's gone nowhere. You're now talking to a personal injury lawyer. My capacity as a personal injury lawyer is only to assist you with a civil personal injury case, which is medical negligence. I can't go throwing allegations of human trafficking, which, by the way, does not make sense.
Why would it not make sense? There are 1,850 people.
Have you been trafficked?
Yes, I have.
Were you taken and brought somewhere else against your will?
No, my body parts were.
That's not human trafficking.
Yes, that is human trafficking. That's human organ trafficking.
All right. Well, look, you're talking to a personal injury lawyer. I can only act on your behalf in relation to personal injury. That's it. I can't prosecute a case on human trafficking, and I can't prosecute a case on organ harvesting, illegal organ harvesting, and I can't prosecute a case on allegations of cover-ups by doctors and radiologists that span however far. Right? It's not going to work. I can only assist you in this medical negligence case, in which we've already obtained support from a highly experienced orthopedic surgeon who's in your corner, backing you up, right? Those are your options. Your options are to pursue the medical negligence case, try and get some compensation out of it and win against the health service. And then if you want to explore the other issues, the criminal issues, which, by the way, probably wouldn't result in compensation because it's criminal, not civil,
Yep.
you can continue to do that. But that's not something that I can help you with.
Yep.
If you're going to send me letters saying, what about this human trafficking thing, what about this organ harvesting thing, all I can say is that's not the subject of your case. I'm not including that in the claim form. We can't. The claim form is a personal injury claim form, not a criminal claim form, right? In fact, criminal law doesn't have a claim form. It's criminal law. You need to bring it to the police, they need to investigate it, then they need to file charges against the respective defendants, right? Which, in my own personal view, you might not agree with this. I'm just trying to give you some insight, and you don't even have to accept it. I don't think you're going to get very far on those charges, on those allegations.
Yeah, I know. I don't think the police would help me out.
You just told me you've already tried. You've already tried sending things out, around and to different organisations, and no one's really done anything about it.
Yeah, I know. No one does anything about human organ trafficking around here.
Yeah, so they might disagree. I don't know what their position is, right?
Affiliates.
What I'm trying to make is, it's irrelevant to what my role is as your personal injury lawyer. My role is to protect your interests with respect to this case. This case is not a criminal case. It is a medical negligence civil case.
Yep.
That form that I'm wanting you to sign is, strictly speaking, a personal injury form. When I say personal injury, I mean the legal concept, which is a civil concept. Personal injury is anything got to do with a negligent act from another party, not a criminal act. Because, by the way, here's another point that you need to understand.
Yep.
If you are to successfully prove that the acts were criminal and not simply negligent, then the insurance company can wash their hands of the entire case. They can say, okay, it's criminal. If you're right about it being criminal, that means the doctors acted outside of their usual duties, and therefore the health service is not vicariously liable anymore.
Yep.
The insurance company has no part to play in this. You can go after the doctors directly and go after their assets directly, in which case you might find yourself in a situation where you win your case, but you don't actually get paid anything because you don't want to go up against an individual. You know, they declare bankruptcy, they move their assets around, you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, money, and it's like about suing and getting the money, but it's...
Compensation, yeah.
Look, but for me, it's really about making sure Dr. Majid Kabwi Al-Kabi Jabbar from Baghdad doesn't harvest any more children or hurt any children when he's operating in Logan Lady Salento.
And hurting children?
Hey?
Do you have any evidence of him harming children?
Yeah, he cut the head off an aborted fetus skull and shoved it in my knee and then imprinted Satan sacrificing a child.
Which doctor has confirmed that to you, that you have a fetus skull in your knee?
It's, they're entirely corrupt. Dr. Mark Jeffries said it's an artifact, and yeah, you can visibly see.
You're saying it's a fetus skull on what basis?
On the basis, you can see its teeth.
Does it look like a fetus skull to you?
It is a fetus skull.
But again, no one told you it's a fetus skull. You've reached that conclusion yourself?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, from your own view of the images?
Yep.
Okay, and are you a trained radiologist?
No, but it's very obvious. You can see markings and an aborted fetus skull.
It's all irrelevant. It comes back to the point that I'm your personal injury lawyer. I have to prosecute your personal injury case. If you don't want to go ahead with it, we can terminate the retainer. But then we've got all these disbursements, obviously, that are chargeable at that point. Your other option is let's pursue the medical negligence case. Let's file this claim form. Let's protect your rights. Let's give you some compensation. And if you want to go on your own and continue to, inquire and seek advice on these criminal charges that you're making, the whole fetus skull, the whole organ trafficking and all that stuff.
Yep.
That's, power to you. It's a matter for you. I can't control what you do. I'm telling you now, in this medical negligence case, you're not going to have any control, or you're not going to change anything got to do with the other doctor's conduct, right? They very well will probably continue to be able to do their work, right? This is a compensation case. This is not a criminal case. You're not seeking injunctive relief. You're not seeking removal of their license. There's no mechanism for you to seek that, unfortunately, under the law. You've approached us as a personal injury firm saying you've been injured, you've been harmed by negligence, and we as compensation lawyers said, yep, we can take it on, and we can try and get you compensation for your harm, right? Put you in a position that you would have been had it not occurred, or as close to as possible. That's my job. Anything else you raise outside of civil law, outside of medical negligence, is irrelevant to what I'm doing for you.
Yeah, fair enough.
You don't have any prospects with those issues outside of what I'm doing, but they don't belong in your claim form. Your claim form is a personal injury claim form on negligence,
Yep.
not a criminal claim form.
Yep.
So I'm not going to write down in that claim form that there's issues involving human trafficking, organ harvesting, and a fetal skull or fetal cranium in your knee. I can only put things in that claim form that are supported by the expert evidence, and that's the report of Dr. Seckel.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure I clarify my capacity as your lawyer, what I'm here to do, what I can do for you.
Yep.
We're not a general purpose law firm. We're simply acting on personal injury cases.
Yep.
So are you willing to pursue your personal injury case? And then on the other side of things, you can choose to do whatever you want to do with regards to your criminal charge, your criminal allegations. You can again bring that to the police and see what they do about it. Do what you need to do, right? But those allegations don't belong in a civil claim form.
Yep.
Okay?
Makes sense.
What do you think? Do you have any questions? Is everything I'm saying making sense?
Yeah,
to you
it's making sense. Difference between criminal and civil. Yep. Look.
Yeah. No, I can't prosecute that stuff for you.
But
that's not our job. It's not what we do at this law firm. And these claims were not really. They're not designed to address those types of questions.
Yep.
We even have a separate standard of proof in civil law. It's called balance of probabilities. If you're making criminal charges, well, they can't assess those in the balance of probabilities. They have to assess those on beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much harder standard to prove, which is why I'm saying you don't really have a lot of prospects, in my view, with these allegations. But my view is probably irrelevant to you anyway, because I'm not your criminal lawyer.
Yep.
Okay? I'm just your civil lawyer. I'm just your personal injury lawyer.
Yep.
If you want to go speak to the law society, get referred to a criminal law firm to discuss those other allegations, keep in mind, it's got nothing to do with compensation, but if you want to try and argue, right, that these doctors have acted criminally, you should probably approach the police about that.
Yep.
So when it comes to your personal injury negligence case, which again, the whole purpose of it is to get you compensation. That's what personal injury law is. It's all about compensation. There's no restitution. There's no aggravated damages. There's no penalties. It's just compensation, right? It's compensating you for your losses. Your losses are like, for example, income loss. Your losses like out-of-pocket expenses for treatment. Your losses like, you need a care provider to come to your house and help you around the house because of your injury, stuff like that. And also your pain and suffering, right? There's a certain amount of money they can pay for your pain and suffering as well. That's how these cases work. Are you happy to proceed on that basis? And then if you want to, pursue your other allegations elsewhere, you can do that.
Yep. Yeah.
Happy to proceed?
Yeah, I can proceed just with the next appointment if my images from Loomis Imaging could be included.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll have Brita request those now.
Yep.
But I'm telling you now, if you bring it to Dr. Seckel or any other experienced orthopedic surgeon, they're going to have their opinion based on decades of experience.
Yep.
They're not going to see a fetal skull, I don't think, but you might have to, I'll say this, do not argue and do not try and fight with or disagree with openly the experts that we're sending you to, because they're being sent to you, you're being sent to them so that they can provide good reports and support your case.
Yep.
Right? They're trying to outline all your injuries and all your damages and provide that in a report so that we can prove how injured you've become because of your negligence, right? So go in there and treat it like a regular medical appointment. Any thoughts about your other allegations, I would suggest you don't raise them in those appointments because they will have no benefit for you. Those doctors are asked to come in on a civil negligence case.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
I'll happily provide the imaging so they're aware of where you currently stand. And I'll ask the right questions about your losses and only your losses.
Yep.
I will not be asking questions about, do you agree that there's been human trafficking or organ harvesting in this case? Because that will offer you zero benefit.
Yep.
Not only that, it will probably harm your case overall. It will harm your case. Because then the other side will say, what are they talking about? What are they asking these questions? They have nothing to do with the negligence case.
Yep.
Right? So, are you happy to proceed on that basis?
Yeah. Yep.
Because again, Ryan, we're here to get you compensation. It's not a bad thing, right? You've been harmed. You've lost stuff. You've lost income. You could have probably worked earlier. You're still experiencing ongoing pain. Compensation isn't a bad thing. It doesn't bar you from pursuing any other actions in relation to criminal charges. Again, my view is that you're not going to get very far, but I'm not a criminal lawyer. You can take it to the police.
Yep.
This particular civil case, We've prepared it. We're ready to go. We've got the claim form there. The case revolves around an incompetently performed surgery. It's nicked your nerve, right? So we've got evidence to support that from a highly experienced orthopedic surgeon. He's in your corner. He's arguing your case, basically.
Yep.
So we're ready to go. And if you are going to go ahead, we need to act quick. Because as I said before, your claim form might be due in January, but your entire case expires in November.
Yep.
Which means we need to submit the claim form basically now. Then I have to go, and then I'll arrange all those appointments, request those extra images and records. And then I'm going to go to counsel, the barrister in your case, and say, all right, what do we do now? Because we've got 2 months left. Do you think we should file an application? He'll probably say, yes, let's file an application just to protect your rights. Yep. And then over the next 12 months, we'll try and get all the evidence in. We'll see what evidence they serve. And then we'll get you into a settlement conference and try and settle your case and put some money in your pocket.
Yep.
Okay, so are you happy to sign the claim form?
Yep.
Any additions you want me to make or changes you want me to make that relate solely to the civil case?
Well,
Keeping in mind, we're only going up against the health service, which is the best course of action because you're going up against a public hospital, fully insured.
Yep.
They don't take it personally. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to private take it personally, right? And they fight
Yep.
cases a lot more harder, and you might have to compromise a lot more when it comes time to settle. Going up against the public hospital is your best course of action.
Well, it would be good to include on the 28th of April 2021 when I saw Dr. Paul Clark at Cannabis Doctors Australia. He put down new referral from GP for chronic pain issues for several years under the care of GP and psychiatrist, trialed multiple pharmaceuticals with limited effectiveness and or tolerance to side effects.
We'll get those records, right?
Yep.
Then they don't relate to breach, right? Obviously, there's a delay in treating you. That's all covered in the report of Dr. Seckel. We'll get those records so that they and provide them to the doctors and the specialists that are going to see you for the quantum assessments. They don't have anything to do with the core argument. The core argument is you went in on that day for surgery because of your injury, and they performed the surgery incompetently, and they caused you harm. That is the core argument in this case.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So, again, that's including or excluding whatever isn't going to change your argument. Isn't going to change your allegations. Isn't going to change your prospects. It's a basic claim form where I've basically summarized Dr. Seckel's opinion.
Yep.
Let me pull it up. One sec. So he says here the saphenous nerve was damaged at the time of rod insertion surgery. So at that time, not subsequently, at that time. Resulting in a saphenous nerve neuroma type pain developing from irritation by the distal locking screw. That's the core argument here, right?
Yep.
Then he talks about how the diagnosis of a saphenous nerve neuroma should have been made and treated earlier than 6 years after the operation. So he covers the delay in treatment. That covers it all, right there. That statement covers it. The particulars are spread throughout your records, which we will obtain and serve.
Yep.
Going to your actual description, which is, by the way, that's longer than the usual description. Usually it's like half a page, but just looking at the question 14, which is the main question.
Yep.
From the notes, there appeared to be an unreasonable delay in diagnosis and treatment for so painful a condition which was treatable as a day-only hospital admission. Had the nerve irritation pain been prevented from occurring as described above by protecting the nerve during screw insertion, then the neuritis pain would have been avoided and the adjustment disorder that appears to have developed may have been reduced. So it talks about the delay there as well.
Yep.
Right? So it's all covered in that brief summary. That's all it is. That is not your statement of claim. That does not include all of your allegations. It's a summary of Dr. Ronald Seckel's main points from his report. We're not going to hold that report. We're serving it. We're giving it to the other side with the claim form.
Yep.
So if you're happy with Dr. Ronald Seckel's report, because it's a lot more detailed than that one-page paragraph, well, that's being served. And then I'm going to get more reports about your injuries and serve them. I'm going to get your clinical notes and serve them. I'm going to get your images and serve them. Everything's going to be served to the other side. I'm going to say we're relying on this. When you serve something, you're saying we rely on this.
Yep. Okay.
This is just a crucial first step to start the claim So then now we can turn our attention briefly to fixing this limitation issue, so that doesn't hang over your head.
Yep.
And then go back, and then once we fix that limitation issue by filing a case in court and just parking it in there, we can go back to booking all these appointments, proving your injuries, and then trying to settle your case, put some money in your pocket.
Yep.
And then after that, if you want to go ahead and bring the matter to the police about the human trafficking stuff and the organ harvesting, that is completely well within your rights.
Yep.
But it's not the function of this law firm, or any person who do a law firm.
Alrighty.
Okay? Alright. Do you have any questions or concerns about anything we've discussed? Anything you want to raise? Because,
No.
book, right? I mean, I'm your lawyer. I'm acting on your behalf.
Yeah, just make sure, like, in our thing, we get all the MRI images.
Yeah. You said Loomis Images, right?
Yeah. Loomis images, twice.
Yeah.
I had off.
Why don't you send me an email? Send me an email with the exact providers you want me to request their records from and provide to the experts before you see them.
Yep.
Loomis Imaging has a number of locations, so give me the location, the suburb.
Yep.
Give me any cannabis doctors. Give me the details that I need so I can request those records. I'll get Britta to request them at the same time that she's arranging these appointments, so that we hopefully get the notes before the appointment dates. Okay.
Okay, no worries.
In the meantime, the first thing you should do, if you're happy with the claim form as it is after I've explained the purpose of this case, is sign it before a justice of the peace, so you have it witnessed by JP, and send it back to me ASAP, because, again, I don't want to file it in October or late September, because that doesn't leave us with a lot of time to file applications in the court to protect your limitation issue.
Yep.
We need to file it now, because that other stuff, the application to the court for the limitation issue, takes a while. I have to draft affidavits. I have to get it settled by counsel. I have to file it. We have to show up to court on an available date of the court. If the court has very little availability, you do not want to leave this thing late.
Yep.
Because you need to show up when a judge is available. Then the judge has to hear it, and then the judge might take time to make his order. And all the while, we're inching closer and closer to that November date.
Yep.
So I want this done, finished. This whole limitation issue sorted with this month, if not early October.
Yep.
Which means we need to lodge the claim form basically now, like as soon as possible.
Okay.
Okay? How much time do you think you need?
A couple of days.
A couple of days, that's fine. No problem at all. It's Thursday now. Give it to me on Monday. I'll lodge it on Monday, and then I'll go straight to counsel, and we'll sort out this limitation issue for you to protect your rights, okay?
Yep.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much for your time, Ryan. If you have any other questions, just call me or email me.
Yep.
But otherwise, I'm anticipating two things from you: the signed and witness claim form, and a list of your recent treatment providers whose records and images you want me to request. Okay?
Yep. No worries.
Awesome. Thanks for your time.
See ya.
See you soon.
Hello?